You ever pass somebody on a trail after you've finished a hike or an adventure and they're just starting out and they're all fresh and smiles, and you walk by them and you think to yourself, what are you doing this for? Do you know what you have in store? Kind of caught myself thinking that, and I laughed to myself because I think I love doing this. But man, by the end of every trip, I'm pretty tired. And I think I've just about had enough. We gotta always keep coming back for more. I think that's a good measure of a trip. By the time you get back to your vehicle, you know you've had enough fun for the day, or the week, or whatever it is. So, anyways, that just came to my head. I thought that was kind of funny. Hey guys, it's Scott from Adrenaline Adventures. Thanks for joining me. I'm with my 16-year-old son, Pierce.
Hello.
Pierce just turned 16 this summer, and instead of buying him a car, I told him I'd take him for a hike. So he seemed happy with that, so that's why I love him. He's a good boy, and just content to go for a hike in the woods with his dad, right?
Take what I can get, right?
Exactly. So yeah, thanks for joining us. Come along on our adventure. We're going to be 4 days in the absolute beautiful backcountry of Northern Ontario. And we're going to camp on some shoreline that you won't believe. So it's going to be gorgeous. It's going to be a beautiful trip. And we're going to have lots of fun, right, buddy?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Hiking sticks are always a good idea for hiking on trails when the ground's uneven. This particular terrain for us is very rocky. It's a little wet, it's damp inside the forest here. So we're picking our way through. I have some hiking poles that I'm going to let Pierce use, and I have some old ski poles that I've cut into hiking sticks, which are a bad idea, so I wouldn't suggest doing that. The great thing about hiking poles and why they're designed to be hiking poles is that the height adjusts, and they have stoppers on the bottom so they don't dig into the ground. So I've already lost one of the stoppers, the aftermarket stoppers that I bought for my ski poles, and you know, they're not working that great. They're longer than they should be, but I'll make the best use of them as I can. But just a little FYI, if you're doing hiking, invest in a quality pair of hiking poles, and it'll be worth it. You'll be glad you did. Okay, well, we haven't been hiking that long. And
Don't tell him that.
no, this is our first break of the day. And I guess, just like, don't tell me we haven't been hiking long. We've been going forever. But I think you need to be realistic if you're ever hiking any sort of hiking trail that has a lot of rocks. This trail bounces in to the forest, which we're in now, which is quite a bit cooler, but it also spends a lot of time just picking its way through the rocks of the shore. We're just taking a break to get some more water. We've been in the bush for about an hour, so we're out of water. To come down to the shoreline and top up. So you might have seen Pierce. I mean, last year we did the French River, and then year before that, Pierce and I were in Algonquin Park on our trout fishing trip that you might have watched me and Griffey in. But I never made a video then, didn't have a YouTube channel then. And Pierce has had some bad luck with weather and incidents. So that was a crazy trip actually, but we'll get into that another time. So me and Pierce just got to our spot. What I love about this trip, no designated campsites, nothing but complete wilderness, camp wherever we feel like it. We're on a pebbled beach on a huge lake. We're gonna listen to the surf all night, have a nice fire and have some dinner. But we got a late start today. It's 7:30, we got maybe another hour of sun, hour and a half. So we have all the precautions that we normally take on a trip. You know, we're going to be hanging our food. We're in bear country as usual. We have water to filter, and we got our dehydrated meals to keep our packs light. But I'm going to show you what I brought on this trip. Okay, so up top I have my trusty buff. It's warm today. Today's like 29 Celsius, I think, when we started. But the weather, it's going to get down to about 22 Celsius for highs for the next 3 or 4 days. So anyways, I got my buff I always take on trips. Another handkerchief. Head nets in case bugs get bad. I don't usually get too caught up in bug suits, that sort of thing, but for some reason, if we miscalculate and the bugs are really bad, I like having a head net. Eyeglasses. I have my keys in the top of my pack. I always carry my personal locator beacon. So on the top of my pack. On the outside, I normally keep my rain gear in the kangaroo pouch. I checked the forecast. We're supposed to have nothing but sun, so no, I didn't even bring a tarp on this trip, so there's no rain gear. Well, I shouldn't say that. Me and Pierce do have our windbreakers or our rain jackets, so worst case scenario, we have our raincoats to put on, but no rain pants, no tarp. So normally I would keep that in here. I always carry this, so I normally kneel on this, which I'm going to right now, even though the stones are pretty soft. So you think you want to be a YouTuber? This is the smallest kit I can bring on a trip if I feel I want to make a video. So in here I have my Mavic Air drone, I have my camera, battery packs, GoPro, wires, cables, and this has probably got to weigh, seems like it weighs about 5 pounds at least, maybe even more. So that's not a waterproof case, so I bring a water bag in case it does get caught up in the rain. Pierce is type 1 diabetic, so I have some medical supplies I got to bring. Insulin, needles, test strips, those sort of things. Maybe I'll get into a little bit later. So that's in here. We have 2 food bags. This is one of them. And there's a few luxury items in here. Pierce likes tea with real milk, and quite frankly I like coffee with real milk, so one of the luxuries is these Tetra Packs that have milk in them, 2% milk. But this is one of 2 bags for our food, and again, I wouldn't say this is going light. There's quite a bit of food here, but Pierce being type 1 diabetic and us being in the middle of nowhere, I cannot afford to run out of food, so it's not an option, so I got to make sure I have enough food for him in case something happens and we're stuck out here later than we would like to. So to cook our meals, my standard jet boil kit, extra canister, 2 plates, kind of a luxury item, but it's nice to have. Bare rope, we're going to be hanging there's a nice tree hanging over the tree line. We're going to be hanging our food there with this. 2-person MSR Hubba Hubba tent. Luxury item, but pretty comfortable, especially when we're hiking on a bunch of rocks. So I get asked this a lot of times. I get asked a lot about these chairs. They're REI FlexLight chairs. And I got 2 of them, one for each of us. We're going to sit here and enjoy the sunrise. Or I should say we're going to enjoy the sunset. Air mattress. This is Pierce's. This is mine. I need to be more comfortable. He's only 16. I'm 47. This is mine. And what I brought on this trip is my hatchet, Gransford Brook hatchet, and Agua Canyon Boreal 21 saw. And I just brought a Leatherman. I didn't bring my Bark River knife. So Leatherman, saw, and hatchet for this trip. And we'll have no problem cutting enough firewood. So that's it. That's pretty much what's in my pack. Pierce has our clothes, another bag of food, and kind of our toiletries, that sort of stuff. So that's what we have for our trip. Now we got to get camp ready. Well, there's certainly no problem getting firewood for our fire tonight. This will be enough. This will be all we need right here. So there's a ton of firewood to cook dinner tonight. Well, good morning. It's our first morning here. Last night wasn't the most comfortable night. It was very warm. Me and Pierce didn't sleep the best. His blood sugars were a little high, not that you need to know that, but that causes some extra grief on my behalf. So yeah, I did not sleep very well. Not very well rested today. And so again, when I travel with Pierce, not that it's a burden, but his blood sugar is something that we always got to keep track of. So he woke up, and sugars are great now, but he's got to eat. So be whipping out the jet boil and boiling up some water, and we're going to have some oatmeal. So yeah, the plan today is to pack up our gear and head out north of our location right now, and we're just going to cover as much distance as we can. I'm not here to cover a crazy amount of distance hiking. It's just a matter of enjoying the scenery, stopping to smell the roses along the way. I want to take some video and make a nice video of this trip, so kilometers isn't the priority, it's just the quality of the trip. And again, this is an opportunity to encourage my son to get outside, and I want it to be enjoyable for him. He has no problem keeping up. If anything, I have to keep up to him, so that's not the issue. If I wanted to press on, he could, but we just want to enjoy the trip. I like watching it. He's enjoying his book. He's had his breakfast and his oatmeal and his tea, and he's just sitting by the beach reading his book, so we want to relax and enjoy this trip. So last night, I was surprised. It's been a very dry summer in this part of the country. There was a fire ban for most of the summer. We got here just after that was lifted, which was nice because we had a little fire on the beach last night. But surprisingly, the mosquitoes were bad for being on the coast and the wind and the dry summer. I was shocked at how bad the mosquitoes were. So Pierce had a hard time with the bugs last night. So this morning we ran into a couple hikers, and I just wanted to give a shout out to Daryl and Scott. They had some extra bug spray, which of course I forgot on this trip. So thank you, Daryl and Scott, much appreciated. I hope you had a safe trip, and it was a pleasure talking to you. And again, it's a pleasure to just interact with people, like-minded people who enjoy doing the same thing. And people's generosity never ceases to amaze me on these sort of trips when you run across people that are doing this. So again, Daryl and Scott, thanks a lot.